Because Jude is now starting to like do a few games with you on technology, or he can log into my phone, I have started to have conversations to say, mommy works with children who sometimes get hurt because they meet people they don't know on the internet. One day he came home and him and his two friends had decided they were going to create a YouTube video. This is what he tells me. But so we're going to create it now and we're going to not post it until we hit 13. And I was immediately like, no, you're not going on YouTube. Like, you're not posting things on YouTube. We don't do that. Like, that's not something you're going to be allowed to do. And he was just devastated, like broke down into crying, like devastation. Like I had just ruined his
ambitions, his dreams.
Yeah, his dreams of becoming YouTube famous. So I said to him, look, Jude, you have to understand that there are going to be things that your friends are going to be allowed to do that you're not going to be allowed to do because of my work. And because I work with kids who have met people online and really gotten hurt, and I don't want you to get hurt. The other day when we were on Jude's computer, and you were like, it's totally locked down because he has a school ID and he's using his school ID to go on Chrome. And I said,
hadn't tested it. I hadn't tested it.
Look up porn. And what did you find?
I don't know how to look up porn.
Stop.
I found porn.
Yeah. And it was shocking, right?
Yeah.
And how hard has it been to lock it down?
Harder than I ever thought it would.
And you are a tech savvy parent.
Yeah.
I think also having kids has really helped me. Like, as much as challenging as having kids are, they absolutely make you be present. They do not care about your work. They do not care if you have a grant report due. And so I really had to learn that if I'm going to try to be as good of a mom as I want to be, and as good of a colleague and advocate that I want to be, I have to set very clear boundaries so that when I'm in either of those roles, I'm trying to be as good as I can. But when they blur, when I'm trying to do both of those roles at the same time, that's when I really screw things up.
So that's what you think keeps you from burning out, is the kids being able to
be present. Yeah, like putting the technology away, being present with the kids. Yeah. But I think there's also like an understanding of, like, if one of us says I have an emergency, there's a respect.
Yeah.
Like, you don't pull the emergency card unless you actually have an emergency. But we understand theoretically what an emergency is.
What it is. We never explain exactly what it is for the most part. We just say, I have an emergency.
Yeah.
And I need to go take care of it. Like when you were procuring gift cards while in labor. Oh no, that was a flight.
No, yeah, I was getting, yeah. Yeah, we've definitely had some odd times where this has come up. When I was still working while giving childbirth, that may have been a boundary creep when we talk about separating those two things. But that kid did get on her flight, and she did make it home. And we did have a healthy baby. I think if I was going to talk to my younger self or talk to people coming into the field, I think what I would say is there's going to be really hard days. And there's going to be days that will literally take your breath away, where you're not sure how to move forward, where you could theoretically become frozen and immobile. And I think that you just have to know that those days are not the majority. And that there's also like these really awesome moments. Like, one of the things we haven't talked about is how awesome the families and the youth that we work with are. Like, how many times have you belly laughed when you're working with a kid because they've said something that was just like ludicrous, but they're so funny, and and when you have your successes or I have mine, like, those are also like the best highs ever.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So I mean,
I agree. And yeah, you're right. It's looking at those good days, and I definitely have more good days than bad. And I think you do too.